if we could go back just a second to the idea of brand, Dave, because you talked earlier about how one of the things that you saw was the chance to bring things together under a brand. I know that maybe for the typical person off the street, I think of a brand as maybe a logo or some colors, but I think your definition of brand, I'm going to assume, is a little bit different. Can you, when you say brand, what is it that you envision as being part of that?
Yeah, so I always describe a brand as an emotional bond that connects people with products and services. And the key to that is the emotional part. Branding is about connecting with people on an emotional level so that they will be motivated to take action. The logic part of this occurs on the sales floor, where you really get down to the nitty-gritty, right? But I am more convinced than ever that people purchase emotionally more than they do logically, right? So that means you need to be conscious of every touch point, right? So I believe that brands are visual, emotional, rational, and cultural images that people associate with a company or a product. And how you manage that from an emotional level, how you connect with them, leads to promises that you make about that brand, right? So we always drill down to a singular brand promise that is the foundation for all communication. And when I say brand promise, there are some very familiar brand promises that we all know. My favorite is Target. So Target was faced with competing against Walmart. They were both discounters, right? So they were both saying pay less. Target created a strategy where they promised people to expect more. They brought in designers to create their merchandise, but the price didn't go up, right? So Target's brand promise is expect more, pay less, right? And so that brand promise sets an expectation that is designed to differentiate from competition and create a space in a consumer's mind, right? The problem with home building is people don't purchase a home every weekend, right? They do it now even more infrequently than they did 5 years ago for all the factors that we're aware of. The cost has gone up, and it's really more difficult, I think. Helping our clients get to that place where they understand their brand, their who, their why, etc., and then they can drill that down into what they can truly promise with authenticity, and then executing on that. If they execute on that brand promise, what happens? It produces trust. And that we say that branding is the process of producing trust. That's the whole idea behind it. Because in order to make a purchase, although it is emotional, without trust, you won't cross over the line and determine what that is. So branding is truly the process of creating trust.